An elven warrior trapped on modern-day Earth. Two friends with different destinies meet at a magical school. These are some of the stories we at Electric Eclipse Comics are working on. You can get your copies of both The Mana Chronicles and Tales of Itherel at elpmerch.com. Support independent creators. Explore the merch featuring exciting ELP Comics art with a wide range of designs. Electric Eclipse Comics. Imagination electrified.
All right, well, welcome back, Oil Runners. So back in the day, we had Eliu Crespo up here, back in the day, we first started back, and definitely wanted him to come back because he has been doing some great work in these years. It's been, what, 4 years? Since 2021, technically. So go back and look all Lux on there as well, and whatnot.
Oh yeah, shout out to Lux.
Yeah, shout out to him. And we will. He did my let's see. He just recently did my new logo, which I'm impressed with. And I love the fact that you know me because I like to be unique. And so this is one of the new versions of the Oil Runners broadcast ordeal. But you can also find
got another one coming soon. Hopefully by Friday morning.
Oh, thank God! Yeah, because that one was hot. I like that one. I was like, oh snap!
Yeah.
I had to I had to literally blow it up and everything. But I was like, well, I can't wait for that one too because that was great. But yeah, he's been doing my stuff. He's done the Oil Runner services, and actually, I might have you do. On Vistaprint, but the exact same for my AK travel thing. I like the way I have it. So if you could just like redo it the exact way, or if you have something different, give me another idea. But the exact same way.
Yeah.
A polar bear, a black bear, and a brown bear all in one for my travel. But yeah, that'll be the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's all the way. Are you still in Pennsylvania?
Yep, Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Central PA. Working here locally with people with notable doctors like Marsha Novick, Cornell West. Who else here? Barlow and Sons. Who else can I shout out here? Mix, All American Pub. It's a couple people. There's a lot of people out there, keeping me busy. So that, and shout out to my wife and my kids too. So
yeah, he's an author as well. I do have his books.
That's right,
and they're really great.
That's right. I'm an artist, author, content creator. Have 2 books out on Amazon KDP, titled Panspermia and The Magic Eraser. I really like the intro coming in with the comic books. That was cool. That guy stuff.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
That's my friend from Ian Foltz. He's a
Ian
voice
Foltz.
actor and voice actor judge as well, and that's his products, his ordeal.
I respect that a lot, man. The voices and all that is cool, man. His work is cool. I really like it.
Yeah. That's actually his voice. In that whole thing, as well.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. As creators, you got to be creative like that, man. You can't hire the sound team, so you got to be the sound team sometimes.
Right.
Or the voice team.
Yeah. That's why we're on here, because I'm that way too, but I want to know how to do it. Like, it's kind of hard. That's not an easy feat.
I use a voice recorder app that you get for free on your Android phone or anything, and I try to go somewhere Well, I used to work with back in the day. I used to want to be a rapper back in the day. So I had a lot of time in like street studios and stuff like that. And the
Yeah.
one engineer at the one studio I used to rap at, he had what did he put up? Not like mattresses, but some type of foam that he put up all around to get like the sound perfect. So
Oh,
what
like
I
a
did kind of like
little,
to
looks like big
yeah,
pill kind of foamy
like a
things.
muffler, like it muffles the
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
So what I did was I didn't have the studio, so if ever I need to record, I'd go to my closet with the clothes and the hangers and stuff like that, like just like hide in there and just like record my voice. So,
Oh
so that's
man.
yeah. Uh, you got to be resourceful, man. That's how I did. For my one commercial for illographics.com, that at the ending, that illographics, that's actually me on there. I just like tweaked the voice in the app in Adobe Audition.
Okay.
So yeah. So I know how that is, man. I'm not a great voice actor or anything like that, but when you got to do what you got to do, I make it work,
Absolutely.
as a creator.
Right. Yeah, you've done what, brochures and all kinds of different things
Flyers,
for.
brochures, websites. I redid Marsha's whole website on weightwellnessmanagement.com.
Okay.
Yeah, she asked me to revise it. She gave me a briefing for it. Took us a couple of weeks to get, but yeah, we redid it, and it looks very nice, very cool and professional. I did my website. I did a website for Exotic on the Rocks for Hector Nieves. He's another client of mine. He's a barber, but
Oh, who
I
you
guess he didn't
right now?
he didn't go through with he didn't go through with it all the way. But we did
Hmm.
set up an Instagram for him and some business cards. So yeah, I've
Okay.
been busy.
That's good. That's what we want you to do, is be busy
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
use your gift for the good of the world, and
hmm
yeah. So how are the wife and kids been doing? Like, how's
They've been doing
all
awesome,
that?
man. They just been doing great, great over the holidays. They're in school now. My wife's working now, so I got a little quiet time here. It's usually like the loud
Yeah.
house.
you, you don't have to buffer out, you can just be like, hey, all right.
Yeah. It's quiet, like until 3:30 hits. Like that's the end shut off time.
Right.
But
That's
yeah,
when you got
on
to get all
usually
the.
on Wednesdays, it's usually my time where I usually have free to myself or free to like reconnect with other people, other potential clients and leads. Um, if you need help with any of that stuff, you could just reach out to me and I'll give you my pointers and my tips. I think the main thing is just to be genuine and transparent with people. I'm not trying to kill nobody's pockets either, but I'm not cheap either. So, but I'm not. I definitely try to negotiate with people at a level where it's gonna benefit both of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, working with you, I'm glad Lux introduced us back in the day. Even as a
And
friend, you're there, so um but working with you, very professional, very I love like the emails. I know I'm not that professional. I can be professional in emails as well, but like
those
my
parts are
friends
hard to
think,
do,
oh,
man. They're like, I
but
know
you
how
are
that is.
very everything. And then I love the fact that you gave me another choice as well.
Yeah,
I was like, and as soon as I was like, yep, I'll pay for that. Normally I'm like,
yeah.
but I
I try to bundle stuff up,
yeah,
and
and
I
it was
I try to look for I basically try to look for things that they're like aesthetically are gonna match the client or the person's message or whatever type of project they're trying to bring to life.
right.
So I put you on game right now. A lot of this like the email stuff. Ever since Chat GPT came out, man, that's been my go-to, my personal assistant for everything. Everything.
I feel you. I learned about GPT in school. I said, wait, what? Hold up.
Yeah, and it's like one of those apps. Yeah. I wouldn't use it to plagiarize or anything like that. I don't recommend using Chat GPT for that stuff. But it helps a lot when you're if you want to type a message to somebody important or applying for a job, you just type it up in Word real quick, have ChatGPT revise it for you, you know. It'll tweak it and make it sound just like you. And you can save that as a template. And when you're working with other clients, you meet other people, it makes the workflow a lot easier and a lot faster. Yeah. Like I've been go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps with people with disabilities like me.
Yeah.
You know, like you could be professional, but like with, like, oh, like you said, put it in a word and like, yeah. All right. And then you can learn that way as well. And just remember, oh, I could say these words too. You know what I mean? It's like a thesaurus or, a dictionary. You can also, if you use it properly.
Yeah, I really
that's what I
use it just like and I don't talk to it. I don't have like the greatest. I do look up like tutorials on how to better the prompts. But normally I just like it's if you keep interacting with these AI models, like they eventually kind of like, I don't want to say it is kind of like having your own personal assistant. Like they become they become, they familiarize yourself with your background, with your creativity, the way you speak, the way you handle your clients. It's really incredible. Like I don't think I'd be able to manage as much as I can manage without it. Like I don't mind paying the extra $20 for something like that, because it helps me out a lot in the long run. And it helps me out like if I need to, if you need help with anything, I could just type it in there and it'll give me a step-by-step guide. It'll give me a YouTube tutorial to look at, and it'll give me suggestions. So I've used it for policy, training, emailing, creating templates for like disclaimers, contracts, etc. Like it just goes on. And now we got I've really jumped into this AI boom. Like I have to know every single new AI app. Like, and I'm in every single one of them. Like it helps my workflow just work a lot faster. And the new one I'm playing around with now is I play around between Dolly and what's Firefly for Adobe and their generative fill.
Really?
Yeah. What's cool about Adobe though is that each one of their apps have like their own unique AI to it. Like Illustrator now has an AI has with generative fill to animation, where it can take I don't know if you've ever seen those videos where you could literally have an image, prompt what you want the image to do. Like I want this character to move in 360 degrees or some type of 80-degree angle, and it'll show a motion for that where it will just turn, and you're like, it's like magic. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still a boomer tech world, but I've seen things like that, but it's like, all right, well, I don't have that knowledge. You know what I mean? I'm still in that. I'm just learning how to quote unquote. I'm like, wait, what? Like kind of in that level. I know how to text, but I mean, like as a boomer learning the phone or whatever, like they go from like, oh,
eventually all this stuff's going to be taken over by all of that. I mean, eventually I'm pretty sure you'll get some type of ad in the mail or in your email or in your feed where it'll suggest, hey, if you want to automate your broadcast with all your videos, compile them together. I believe Opus Clip can do that. That's another good app for videos. They do all the. You've heard of it? You've heard
I have
Clip?
that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it'll cut up
Yep.
everything real nice for you. NVIDIA's another one. Sora's another one. Uh, Da Vinci. There's so many now. They're coming out. Um, but I
Yep.
believe that eventually it's gonna come to a battle of the AIs where where like I think ChatGPT is not going anywhere for a while. Or Adobe and Canva. And I think eventually maybe these apps will come together in the future. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I tether between all these apps, and it really, really streamlines my work for my clients. So it's awesome. It's cool. And being that I'm a traditional artist, like I don't forget about, I don't think that anybody should ever like disregard traditional artists now because of the AI art. I know there's a lot of beef between AI art and traditional artists, but I think people are really like missing the opportunity. It's like back in the day, people used to be mad at Photoshop when Photoshop first came out. Like traditional artists, were like, oh, that's cheating. You're a hacker. You're hacking the art. This, that, and the third. And it's funny to me because now the people who were beefing with the traditional artists about no Photoshop, this, that, those same people are saying, oh, this AI is stealing my work. I created this stuff on Photoshop and now AI has my work. And I'm like,
Right.
this is the same person who was was beefing with the traditional artists. So I don't
Right.
think traditional art is ever going to go anywhere, and I don't think AI could ever beat it. Um, but I will say that AI does help the traditional artists with like references, especially references for
Yeah.
anything. Like what would take me hours to do to look at magazines or to look on the web and like sketch out a bunch of references, and have like 20 references that I can use.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. So
Give you some
is
sort
it
of a
hacking? Is it a little streamlining? Is it yes? But at the end of the day, is it helping people provide? Of course, like it kind of stops like the gatekeeping, like for gatekeepers and stuff who like don't let you in the industry, or like there's people who will try to stop people from making it. And I feel like the internet, AI, all this stuff, all this free information really helps people like you and me and content creators to just like really get their work out.
right.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's good enough process. I used to be that
Right.
traditional guy that just did everything with a paper and pencil, but now I'm like, like we're evolving. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm big on that. I hate gatekeeping. And I say it, I think almost say it in every video. This is, this broadcast is not it is to cut that gatekeeping out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like those little tips that you just gave, somebody else may have needed her because I'm on YouTube. How do you do this? Well, pay me $500. I just want the stupid bullet point. How do you press the on button? Like,
Yeah, I
you know
try
what
to
I
like,
mean?
yeah,
Like, what?
give a lesson, man. Give a lesson because it's just gonna benefit you at the end of the day. If you give, if like it's that old saying, you teach, a person how to fish, they got food forever. Not only necessarily is that person learning how to fish, but he's probably gonna share the fish with you. He's probably
Right.
gonna say, "Hey, come on, let's go fishing together now." You know what I'm saying? And now you got a bigger network, more people that are gonna benefit from. I get it. I get that people are struggling. A lot of people in America are struggling, and they're just looking for that like get rich quick. But it's life is not like that. Life's not like that at all, man. Eventually you got to get up. You got to do some type of work. You got to do join a cause, like help people out. Um, keep this train
Yeah.
moving. Tomorrow's not
Yeah. Like you were
promised.
talking absolutely. You were talking about fishing, which actually that's very dear to my heart up here that I learned. It's fun. Absolutely fun. Hard work, but fun. But you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
um, But something that I learned, how do I say this? With God, okay? How, like, I'm always going to church. You know what I mean? Like, that's absolutely, now I have my own church. It's different as well. But looking at everything that we were taught over the years, and then the involvement of the church, the involvement of the food bank, the involvement, whatever it is, the grocery stores, nothing bad about it, but like we're having issues with money, right? So when I was fishing out here in Alaska, one fish gave me like 8 fillets of food, right? So God was really showing me this, right? We get 25 fish per family. 25.
Okay.
Like, okay, so and then I went to the food bank before. Well, I still go. I'm not rich. Like, but they gave us fish that they fished for, right? So I was like, wait, there's something here to this. If you the store pays, it costs you what, $17 for one fillet for like this big. You know what I mean?
Probably,
Like,
yes.
but
Anything.
yeah.
Especially out
So
here.
between out here too, it costs a little bit, for one fillet. And we can't afford, if people are just having that mindset of, I can't afford something healthy like a piece of fish. It's $17 for a piece of fish or $17 for your medication. I was just recently in this situation. You know what I mean? So, but going out there and fishing for a cause, would help a lot of family. Fishing, hunting, whatever it is, you're doing it for a cause. You're feeding families. You could put those meats and all that stuff, put those into the food banks versus having to wait for the grocery store. You know what I mean? And they'll have better food to be able to come out with, kind of thing. And I'm actually thinking about opening that up. You know what I mean? So like it's a very, and fishing with other people, having more people, you talk with each other, you have fun.
Their abundance,
Yeah, and you meet new people out in the water, and and you're just out in this nature and all that stuff. It's a different thing if we get our mindsets together. Actually, yeah, I think I am going to open that up. This is a fishing ministry out here, and we could fish out to the different states, you know what I mean, or whatever, like fillet it up, do what we got to do. But that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I think I'm going to. But either way, but I'm yeah, that was my rabbit hole.
Yeah, I get it because it's tough for a lot of people, man. I remember at one point, um, I was in the negative. My daughter was having, like, she has trouble breathing sometimes. She has asthma. I remember going to Rite Aid and trying to get an inhaler for her, but I didn't have any. She was covered, but for some reason they were telling me I had to pay $90 for the pump. And
Yeah,
I remember holding on to that prescription because they had already put it on the counter. And I just
yeah,
remember putting my hand on that and just thinking, I'm out of here. My daughter needs this. I'm leaving the store. And the clerk noticed
right.
that in me, like, he noticed the desperation in me. And he was like, look, I'm gonna, I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna, I'll give you a discount. I'll try to do whatever I need to do so you can have this today. Like, he saw it. Like, I didn't, but that's my daughter, and nobody wants to see their kids suffering or going through, some type of hardship. So I understand why Americans, like people all over the world, they do what they do because, it's hard. It's not easy for everybody. But
Yeah, no,
that
yeah,
good person,
God,
good people, God, your faith, that helps. All that stuff helps.
right. And that's
But
why we can't gatekeep, because the gifts
yeah,
that we have, we need to help each other. Like we go,
hey,
like right now, there's that fire. Somebody, we may be able to call somebody on our side. You know what I mean, to get those people some help, or whatever. Our gifts could help those people. Our gifts could help the earthquake, or or it doesn't matter if it's a natural disaster or not. We still can help each other without
right.
having that greediness, like, oh, I need $100 to, yeah, of course we got to live, but we have a job, but also there's another portion, if God leads us to help that person, absolutely. To me, on my end, money.
Yeah, I don't
be
ever
asking for.
like. I don't condone people like getting violent or just taking to the streets and doing crazy stuff. Like recently with that
Right.
Luigi Mangione case, like that's kind of sucks for somebody to
That,
have to die and and their
yeah,
family had to go to grieve and everything. But like that could have been
right.
avoided. Like that ideology can be stopped, man. If like thousands of Americans do die because they just don't have it. They don't have the healthcare that everybody needs. And I'm really praying and hoping that maybe that Trump really steps up and does something about the healthcare. I mean, he ran on it before, so I'm hoping he does make some big changes on that in life because
Yeah.
nobody wants to see nobody else get hurt, and nobody wants to really deal and live with that rationality that thousands of people are dying every year from being denied health. So
Right. Yeah.
a
And then
lot of
healthcare, like just the $81 I had to choose
yeah,
recently, $81 for my pain medications or food.
yeah.
And
Yes.
right now I have to get food. And I had to figure out the pain, I just, when I had surgery. So, I mean, obviously I'm going to need some pain medication, but I don't
I
like
got
those
my
choices.
marijuana cards. That's what I do for the pain. I'm
I
like, no,
can't even
I need the gummies in my life.
like and that I'm not I don't do drugs and alcohol no more, but on top of that I
Mhm.
can't even if I wanted to, it
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
straight out kill me with my bariatric
Okay, yeah,
surgery like that. Like I'm at a life or death, and now that's something that was different because
yeah.
I could deal without food right before.
Hmm.
Now I have to physically look at everything, and even sitting in the hospital, even though I have gluten-free, I have all these other issues. I tell the
Yeah,
doctors, all I ask you to do is open up the whole thing to where I can choose exactly what I need. If I'm pretty capable, I have to be a big advocate, right, for
yeah.
myself. But I said, because if I'm being told no, and I get why I'm told no on because obviously it could kill me if or whatever the outcome is if I have the gluten free or whatever. But I said, but
Hmm.
there's certain foods I can't. Right, I have to have protein. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck in the hospital, and I'm
Yeah. Well, what type of proteins can you do? Like, can you do
already
eggs?
have to afford stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and so picking out different things. And food banks is a little hard for me now because I can't have half the food. Like,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So it's a problem. But yeah, that
Hmm.
marijuana card, I can't have that no. So it's like,
Man,
so coffee it is. Like,
congratulations to you and your strength for getting through all of that stuff, man. I know that's got to be tough and hard.
it really is.
You look like
That's
a
why,
real strong person for it. I know anybody looking at this channel
yeah.
now and seeing you for the first time, they probably would not even have a clue about any of that stuff. It's
Mm.
that's good,
I was
man.
I was a drug dealer, a drug addict, an alcoholic. You name it. I think I've been through it on that end, and only God
Yeah,
got me out of that one. Not raised in church, but I have been in church, and it does work. We're having a
right.
relationship with God, and being out here in Alaska has really helped me heal in that
Hmm.
department because um, I did have one time when I was in therapy. Therapy helps too. You got to have the right therapist.
Yeah.
So I've hired and fired a
Right.
lot of them. So you got to do the work. You really have to be the advocate for yourself. But
Hmm.
it's a journey for your healing. But no, there's one time I was in therapy and I thought I was okay, but my therapist opened up some pores or some different doors that I was like, oh snap. Now I want some drugs and I want some alcohol and I have like $900 in my bank account. I know exactly where I can go, No, I'm not leaving this house. I gotta fix my face. You cannot leave this house until you fix your face. You gotta fix all that. And because that way, and then I ended up, my thing is I always, and I had a car too. So I said, I will drive down the highway. That's my thing now. I drive down the Seward Highway and I go to Beluga Point, or I go on an adventure or something. It is very therapeutic. So I don't know what I'm going to see, what I'm going to do, but me and God, boo hoo 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 hoo, all the way down this daggone highway, be my, like,
Okay.
so
That's good though, man. That's really good.
but everything I wanted to see in photography or wanted to have, like I stopped at Potter Marsh, which
Oh,
I'm
that's a
starting to
great
like Potter Marsh.
photography hack, man. That driving around and just looking for, for that right scene and everything. I used to do that a lot when back in the day when I used to work for Amazon. I'd be delivering driving, but I would stop at certain places that I see like, yo, this looks nice, and I would take a
Right.
picture of it. Yo, from doing just that, just from driving around, I have like a legit like big library in Adobe Bridge where I have all my photos from everything I took. So now
Right.
anytime I need an asset or something, I don't have to go to Shutterstock or anything like that. I can just go in the library, which is awesome.
Right. Yeah, and that's
Hmm.
how I do too. Yeah, and it is a very therapeutic ordeal.
Hmm.
I came in with nothing. I didn't know how to do photography. I just out here literally right next to where I'm at. So I gotta be smarter than a device. I don't know how to work that, and that's why
Just start clicking. Just
and
start playing with the buttons.
I had the laptop, which I had no clue about Photoshop or Lightroom or not anything that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
now. Like
Hmm.
I've learned in the last 7 years, and so I am very, and I'm so grateful because now I do the Iditarod, right? But I love the Iditarod. That's one of my
Hmm.
favorite things. I started off that and just being out there and being with the people, all that stuff, and with the dogs. And now I work the Iditarod, and I also do photography. But there's one photographer that he took up the whole. He's historical, like he's still
Yeah,
alive,
yeah.
and now I'm today is my first day that he's going to be over at the house and I'm going to be distributing
Hey,
his
that's
and all
good.
that stuff. All right, you know what I mean? Like that's a blessing that I'm
That's how
very
you get it
grateful
done,
for
man.
because
You got to get up and you got to go do it, man. You got to get out there and get it. Then,
yeah, so I'm very grateful. And then I got the fin whale. That was a very big thing for me.
Mhm.
Just that kind of stuff. So me and God, that's how I stay away from alcohol and all stuff. So if I have an addiction, it's literally the photography. Like that's
Yeah,
and taking selfies with moose and bears and all that stuff. Everybody's like, you're not
those are the
afraid?
greatest addictions to have. Yeah,
No.
positive
So
addictions.
it right. I used to be afraid of falling off the mountain. Now I kind of still have that little thing, but now I understand the word where where Moses went up and where Jesus, you cannot get me off this mountain. Like now I'm like, let me go. Please get me out of the city, town, the city,
Yeah.
whatever. Let me just give. And whatever
Hmm.
happens, happens. But you get to see different things. On being on the top of a mountain is just absolutely amazing, and you don't see your problems. Your problems are like obsolete. I mean, they're still there, but when you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
where your house, you don't see your house, you're so close, and all this stuff, but you're on the top, but you see a skyline, you see the sun, you see the water, you see all of the other stuff. And then you sit
Yeah.
there and thinking like, oh my gosh, like really? My problems are really that small. So I come back
Hmm.
home with a better attitude because I went on a bigger altitude,
Yeah, it changes
and
your
into a high.
perspective. That does. It does.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in keeping your mind positive and saying positive things out loud. And
Mhm.
Yeah, that stuff works. Like when I come home, I don't. If I come home from a long, hard day of work, I don't. I try not to tell the kids that oh damn, I had such a hard day. I try to say, oh no, I did this today to kind of like change the outcomes of my day.
Yep.
I kicked ass today. I did the best I could today. So
Yeah.
I never try to show, you know, just like being defeated, because that just nobody wants to be around. Say misery loves company. So people
Yeah.
people who are miserable, they're gonna try to like pull you in with them, and you don't be that person. Don't be that person. If you really want to
Right.
succeed in this crazy world, just don't be the negative Nancy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't do pity parties. I can't. I really can't. That's I'm here for a person. And all that stuff. I personally I do have compassion for that stuff, but like the excuses train, I can't
Yeah, yeah,
personally
yeah.
do. I was the
Right, right.
excuse queen. I even got mad at myself when I was sitting there like I am tired of hearing my own self, make these complaints and
That happens too. That happens. You get tired of hearing yourself. You get tired of hearing yourself in your head. You're like, shut up. Like shut
right,
shut up.
yeah.
Like go out and make a difference. Like get out of your head.
Exactly. Like and yeah, I mean, yes, we are here for each other, and it is kind of hard that I'm still working on this is finding. I don't want to like put any of my problems on anybody, just to even talk about them. It's very hard for me to do that. Like people see
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
I go
yeah.
through like this surgery, the stuff that I go through, I'm like, oh my God, like I need somebody to just give me a hug. Like you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah.
instead I got all these toxic people coming around. You're too lazy, and you like, bruh, you or sis, you don't have any idea. I can't physically lift, but I got to do your job. You expect me to
Hmm.
do all this stuff, but no, I legit had this surgery, or I'm going through this. The doctor physically said I can't do, but I am not allowed to, you know what I mean? So now I gotta be like, all right. So me and God was like, oh, I need some rest. So I'm grateful for this rest at this point. Like, because
Yeah.
every surgery, every 6 months, I have a surgery. That's literally it's been between 5 and 6 months.
Wow.
So I'm
Yeah.
just like, and then I'm working 8 days later after a
Hmm.
surgery, or the day after, or like the recent one, housing called me
Hmm.
a couple hours after I got out of my spine surgery, and was sitting there yelling and screaming at me, and I was like, whoa! But if you don't answer that daggone phone, that their call, then you're like off the list. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the heck is going
Yeah.
on? They're like, are you disabled? Just got out of spine surgery. Like I literally said that. I was like, please, I might
Oh
be high
wow.
on drugs.
Yeah, I feel like
So
there's
it's this society.
it's like a big disconnect with like empathy and humanity and people, man. It's just especially with like people like that, like they have a job to be that telemarketer or to be that person to go and hunt down people and call them up like, hey, where's this at? Where's that at? Or you got this, it's like a real loss of humanity there, like which is and yeah, people should pay their debts. But like have some type of you got to have some type of empathy, because really anybody can be in the same shoes at any moment, any time in life. You may be up now, but later on in life you go. It's not always going to be perfect. It's is you really working hard to keep where you're at in life. But
Exactly.
yeah, I feel like if people can just like be more relatable on that level, we'd have a better time on this planet.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, it's crazy. Yeah, I just sat there and I was like, though, I was like, I could not believe I said the one time the nurse needed to come into my room. Like, I can't do this by my, but I'm like, hold on. What's your therapist name? So she can say that you're disabled. I'm like, hold on. Like, jeez Louise, I can't, I'm on my back. I'm not allowed to move. So, like,
Yeah.
she's like, well, are you disabled? I just had spine surgery. Obviously I am technically,
Do
you know what I
you
mean? I'm sitting there thinking that,
Do you have a sketchbook? Do you carry like a little book or something
I
at
have it,
all?
but I don't carry it.
I think I think I think that'd be real good for you. Like as far as me as a creative though, I go through a bunch
Mhm,
of sketchbooks, and I don't even
mhm.
necessarily do like really nice work on there. It's a lot of crap that all like I was like just sitting and sketching Spider-Man or a spider web, you know. I was just
Right.
but I do this to like kind of clear my head or to
Okay.
get me back in that like hand memory or just um to help with any type of creative thoughts or ideas that I'm having at the moment. And sometimes I'll write stuff down on there too. I won't even necessarily draw. I'll just write down, okay, I think the one day I was when we were on the phone, we were talking about sponsorship and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
my client, Marsha, she could really use that information for like how to get sponsorships and stuff. So I just write that down, and then the next day I go watch a tutorial on how to get sponsorships or get on Chat GPT, and then I'm finding work for myself, and I'm also trying to help out other people at the same time. I
Yeah.
believe a notebook, your phone, maybe anything where you can like physically write something down. I think that's awesome, and that's great for creatives to have and to do.
I do have in my purse, and I like those small lined notebooks, but a
It
sketchbook
holds
I
you
have in my
accountable
room.
too, and that kind of
Yes.
stuff holds you accountable too, because you can say, okay, write down tomorrow I'm gonna work with so and so at such and such time. You wrote it down, you know it's there. You read it, it's in your head. Next day, you're
Right.
prepared to go do that.
Right.
There's a lot of power in
Yes.
that, and just writing stuff down, which is a lot of people don't think it's nothing. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, if that's what you don't want to do,
Yeah.
then that's fine too. But if that's what works for me, you know.
I before oil runners started back in the day, um, I was never a big person to remember. Still, remembering things is hard. So, but a calendar, like I was like, oh,
Hmm.
after starting with the medical stuff, I had to have a calendar because I have medical like every other hour or something, or whatever. So something
Yeah.
that I've learned I learned how to do was take the calendar, right, and
Hmm.
write down everything good and bad that you do every day. Whatever thing, if I have like a meeting with you, or I got to go make breakfast or whatever, writing that in your calendar and then
Yeah.
seeing what exactly it is that is in your vision or that's supposed to be there and what's not supposed to, what's good and what's bad. So after I did all that, it's a lot of work, but I did that and I took out everything
Yeah.
that's not necessary, and then just started. I was like, well, I'm not going to put that in the calendar no more, like kind of thing. And, even
Yeah.
when different people want me to do, like, I'm not sure, but I'm always open. But
Yeah.
it's very well onto that
Hmm.
notebook portion,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, well, how do you keep up with all this stuff on your own? A calendar. I am learning the art of the calendar. Like, that's if you would have known me back in the day, I was a person that was the here and now. And,
Hmm.
you tell me something, I'll most likely forget about it in 2 seconds. But, like, well, let's just do it now.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
still at now, but with calendar, I'm like, ooh, hold up. Yeah, don't let me go without a calendar. Like, I am now an organized person. Like,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
really works. It really
Yeah. It's dope.
works. Now the
That
sales.
I, those things also help me a lot with when I'm managing like a social media account or something uh, with analytics. Like I try to
Yeah.
take all the best content that I see that's going on, the most views. I compile them, put them together, and then it's off to Chat GPT. It's like, but I write it all out first, like what I'm gonna do,
Yeah.
and then I take it, I take it to my assistants.
Yeah.
so to speak.
Right. You know how many whiteboards you have? Like, I'm a
Uh,
big whiteboard person.
oh, I
A
got them all over the
whiteboard.
house too. Yeah, yeah. My family's
Right.
big on
No,
that. My wife and kids, we got their schedules written out, the menu for the week, all that. Today, what's
yeah.
today? Today is chicken wings. We get
Hey,
chicken wings
you
today.
know what?
So
That's something I learned at work at the extended care is that
Mhm.
calendar. It helps with your food budget, you know,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, there's art to that, you know, making a healthy food calendar. And like
Hmm.
week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, we just keep eating the same. You know, we could kind of change it up a little bit, but you know
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
gonna buy, exactly. You know what I mean? And I said, this is genius right here. Like, you know, especially because we had 12 people in the place that had different
Hmm.
diets, but it was a diet that they all can eat, but they can also have an alternative. But we at least know
Right.
what was on was the budget. And I said, that is absolute genius. And then having all your recipes in a folder, all your, you know, everything in, I mean, I said, you know,
Hmm.
organization is very, very helpful tool, you know, a thing to have. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
I
even if you're not organized, man, if you just take the effort just to try it out, just to write something down and just like to plan something out, and you'll be surprised, at the results you're gonna get, which is
right,
is usually, for the positive, for the best. A lot of people
yeah,
don't want to do that, man. A lot of people just want to cuddle up in the blanket and just be warm and just sometimes you got to be
right,
cold, man. Sometimes it's not going to be always warm. So,
right. And then I also looked at now of course again it's work, but like you said, people don't want to do it. But um what got me on this idea was the 2020 the toilet paper issue. I was like, why are people buying so much toilet paper when but
that was
you can
crazy. Yeah.
calculate
You remember COVID?
like what the heck is like you buying like 200 things of toilet paper, but do you really
Oh
use all that?
man.
And but so like for instance, I mean it's different in every family with calculating things, right? But
Mhm.
you take a like for instance, you take a box of trash bags. Okay, for me, I could buy a maybe 1 or 2 boxes of the white trash bags because there's like what 200 in each or
Mhm.
something or whatever amount, and that'll last me the whole year because I'm one person. Instead
Yeah.
of buying the trash bag every week or every and wasting that money, but calculate
Yeah.
look at your life physically and be like, okay, so how much trash do we physically, how many trash bags a week do we use, right? And then just
Mhm.
calculate trash bags, you know, you just buy that much for the whole year. And
Yeah.
technically it's a little less than what you're actually buying and you save money on that end. You know, of course
Right.
use your
Right. Right.
coupon too, but everything that you do, look at how your family is operating
Mhm.
and really reduce all those things. I was like, well, I guess I could teach on that too. But you know, if you I bulk the trash bags,
Costco's
I
a good
bulk
place to go.
right.
If you anybody
You
get a
know,
chance to go to that Costco, got to get it in
absolutely. Yeah,
bulk.
we got one. I got one right next door to me. Literally, I could walk right across the street.
Mhm.
KFC too. But but yeah, no, literally looking at all of that stuff and not wasting because that toilet paper whole thing just I was like, what the you could do that with the toilet paper. You don't have to you still work how your family works, but literally look at how much you're using and then
Mhm.
just buy that amount for the full year during your family. You don't have to go shopping for that ever until the next year. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
still like
I feel like
and then you save money.
I feel like 2025 is going to be probably everybody says this, but I feel like it's going to be a better year. God willing, I think it's going to be a lot better things and better opportunities for people. Uh, I just, I
Restoration.
just put that out there, rather than being negative. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The rest yeah.
I see myself growing and learning a lot more. Um, I see that with you a lot too, and all my other friends and family and clients. Um, I wish all of them the best and much success. Like I'm really like a selfless person. I don't really. I know I should give myself more grace, or I should give myself more praise, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's I don't want to say it's. I feel like it's coming off as too much of an ego or something like that. Like I don't want to be that person who's always like, oh, look what I did, look what I'm doing. It's that the exact. I'm trying to hide from people. Actually, like I don't like. I'll put stuff work out there for you. You know, make you look nice. Like even for me coming on here, it's like it's a little weird being on the interview and stuff. But I do it. I do it to break out of that shell and to reconnect in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2025.
And
I see a lot of good things coming.
yeah, you're gonna have a lot more interviews, by the way. So
Yeah.
because you definitely, we all are here for each other, to help each other and to connect with each other. So it's the connections, and that way they see you. How can they see you or your gift or whatever it is that God gave you when you're sitting in the house?
Yeah.
They can't, you don't leave. I mean, yeah, of course, right now the computer is like the best way. You don't have to leave your door. You know what I mean? But they can see
Yeah,
you. They know how to
working.
get a hold of
I'm not
you.
gonna lie. Working remotely is awesome. Working
Right?
remotely with people and being able to sell digital products, so that's awesome too. But that's not to say I'm not afraid to go to a. Sometimes you got to go to a live event or to somebody else's event because you're the person taking the pictures. You're the person doing the videos. So if you want to get into that creative field, you got to go. You got to travel. You know.
Yeah.
And if you meet a
You
client
get
who's
people.
so gracious enough to be like, hey, I'll go do this for you, but at least pay for my travels or at least pay for my ticket or per diem for food or whatever. So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not be
that's
stingy.
good. And I'll tell you this, I've never met, I've never met a client through like just a commercial that I put out on the internet. Like for a lot of people and a lot of people I meet who like hire me to do work for them, they think that once we create this image or we create this video that, oh, this is what's going to make me millions and this is and that's not really how it works. You really have to do the work and get out and promote your stuff or at least invest more on a marketer to able to help you push that content out that way. Like it's never just
Yep.
okay, now I got my stuff done and now I can't wait. This is gonna make me so much money, and it really doesn't turn out that way. I've the most clients I've ever met is this like one on one to be able to go out and talk to people. Like that's how you make the money. It's not by like posting every day. It's good to post all the time, just to get your network up and get the feed and the algorithm out there so that more people see your stuff. But the main
Right.
thing is to go out and talk to that person, like physically talk to that
Absolutely.
person, get that phone call with that person, meet with that person, and do the one-on-one. So,
Absolutely.
that's
And I
my
think
advice for creatives
important.
out there who are thinking they're just going to jump into the game and make millions right away by posting
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. It takes about 5 years. You might get blessed for, the first year, but
Yeah, yeah.
was it 5 or 6 years that it takes to really, because you're going to
But they
fail.
say
You're
it
going to,
takes if you grind for like 2 years straight, even 6 months, you'll start to see some type of progress. But if you just keep like don't sleep, just keep work, don't take any days off, do that for like 6 months straight or 2 years, even 2 years, even better. But you will see the results.
yeah,
The results will start coming in. If you're passionate about whatever it is you're doing, just stick to doing that for a long time. Like eat, sleep, breathe your passion, and God will bless you for those things.
yep. Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, it took me 7 years, and today is like that. It may not be much, but for me, it's a lot to get that
Yeah, yeah.
photographer. You know, like that was a blessing to me, to be able to help him with sending, being his delivery person, because it's like, for
Yeah.
as a photographer out here, we're all great out here, but his name is everywhere. So if you go into like Walmart, or like a, like you got product, right? Like I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I
yeah,
can
yeah.
put some cups out into this like set, you know what I mean? Like I got pictures, I can make cups and all that stuff or whatever, and go to the restaurant.
Hmm.
He's already got it.
Those
You know
are
what
the
I mean? So it's
mentors,
like,
man. Those are the
oh,
elders. Those are the masters. We need to,
right,
we need to get that mentorship from.
right,
We need to talk to.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll have him on the broadcast too. He said in the spring. But he's got historical pieces, and I was telling him about it. And I was
Hmm.
like, man, I said, when you put it up on there that you needed help, I was just thinking about that. And it was a blessing, just a huge, because I'm like, I need to learn how to do the books and the calendars. And he is the
Okay.
one to, I mean, I'll learn, that he's already in Walmart, he's already in the bookstores, he's already, all you see is all his stuff everywhere you go, and outside of. So I said, okay, and he's retired.
Yeah.
He's retired from the I did it, so he's already seen my work, and he was like, "Are you sure you're a beginner?" Like way back when ago, I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's actually not bad." Like, and I was like, there might be something to this, but I do it for fun for me. But I want to be the Iditarod photographer.
Okay. Yeah.
That's, but that
Well, there you go. You write
my
that down.
photography world,
Speak it into existence. You say, "I am the
right?
photographer for Idarod. I am that," and that will come to fruition. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's that
yeah.
mindset.
And
Like
what really
I
got me
believe in you. I think you got what it takes to do that. Like I see a lot of your stuff, and I'm like, oh, this was pretty cool. This is cool. She's doing her thing here, especially with the like videos.
oh,
Just the growth in that is kind of cool. I can't get on and like everybody's stuff on social media because that'll take away my my day. Like, but I'll try. I'll try to send I'll try to do this,
right.
do the little bit that I can, and then a lot of times my kids will be on my phone. Like my son, I have a 5-year-old son. Like he'll try to grab my phone and he'll be on there. I mean, so I try to stay away from social media unless I really have to. Like I'm doing work for somebody else, or if it's something that I want to promote or put out there, or like to talk to immediate family. Maybe they don't have minutes on their phone or
Right.
something like that, and they need the
Right.
Wi-Fi, so you can talk to them like that. But you know how
Yeah.
it is. But yeah, man. I think social media and everything it works like a double-edged sword, kind of. And I
Hmm.
think the main thing, just talking with people, just meeting with people and seeing what their ideas is and what type of projects they want to work on, and see what kind of similar interests that we have. We can come together and make something cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And for all y'all, he will, this artist, I like to be unique, and and I don't like to have everything like everybody else, and in photography
Yeah.
or anything. Like, I even if I have a wedding dress, I'm not going to pay for a wedding dress that everybody else kind of wore. You know what I mean? That's not me, right? So I have to
Hmm.
be like me, totally unique. Um, but I like the fact that the way you do your art, the people, the essence of the person, or the
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. You figure that out, and I was like, I didn't really have to give you anything. Um, well, except for like the card that I kind of made. You know what I mean? Like the quickie mess that I did, whatever. But I mean,
But
I
it's
can
not,
hold
you know what
myself
I'm
to it.
saying? It's not all that bad because at least you did it. You did the work to put it out there for somebody to look at it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It might not be the greatest right now, and people might not be the greatest at art, but so long as you keep working and you keep putting stuff out there, then you might meet the designer like, hey, I like what you're doing, but if you'd like, I can make this a little more better for you, or if you like, you can hire me to manage your social media, redo your website, make a video commercial for you. You attract
Right.
those people with the work that you do.
Right. And see,
So
I like this right here. That's all you took it to another level. I didn't even give you the colors or nothing. You just, I mean, the microphone, yeah. But yeah, no, you took it and you ran with it. And then the I can't wait for the YouTube because
so
that was
my
like,
my thought process with the whole thing was I used I did a little sketch first, like how I wanted to see everything, and then I took it to ChatGPT to run a draft of what I wanted, and then I started looking at visuals. Then I took it to Adobe Express, and I started putting together the templates and the wording and the graphics and the colors. And I was like, oh, this is looking kind of like, this is looking like her. This is looking like her channel here. And I just kept
yeah.
going. Like I'll get lost in the art, and I'll just keep going and going, and I gotta stop myself. I'm like, hold up. It's 3 a.m, yo. Like I need to go to sleep. I got other work to do
Right.
tomorrow. But that's how passionate I am about, just putting my work out there. And it's also a flex to learn new things because, like Adobe Express came out to compete with I guess Canva. They're
Hmm.
both good platforms in my opinion. But I really wasn't too familiar with Adobe Express all like that. And so I started like playing around with it and learning it. And so, I started seeing at one point in time I didn't have Canva, but I was paying for Adobe. So I was like, well, I
Right.
can't get on Canva right now, and client really needs their work. So I jumped onto Adobe Express and started learning all of that, which is awesome. Like I really like the way the applications are turning out now for like graphic designers to help them, stream the work process. Uh, it's they're all I'm in love with all of it. I'm in love with all the new applications and everything. Like I just want to keep learning and learning more. So
Yeah.
anytime
And
I get a request to do something, it's like yes, I get to try to learn something new and make something really creative and nice. And then
right.
and
Yeah.
you're happy with
And
it. So I'm like, if other people are happy with it, I'm happy. Everybody's happy. So
absolutely. And the timing, it was good. I didn't give you a time. I'm cool. I know you got a life and all that stuff. You know what I
mhm.
mean? So like the whole process from start to finish, I try to make sure that if I ask you something that I know I'm gonna have the money for it. Like, but I just need to know,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you still doing it at least so I can have that in my brain 10 years
Yeah,
from
yeah.
now kind of thing.
Yeah, I try to
But
give
yeah,
myself
no,
I know I can come up with like simple icons. Like within 24 hours, I can come up with like a cool customized icon, like a little something small and simple. And I usually charge people like $25 just to do that because it's kind of quick. It's customized. It's just something to get them out. Could be like just in black and white. But
right.
yeah, that stuff. I just I'm just so passionate about it. All this work. I don't see myself doing anything else in life. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably be like a teacher or something. I don't know. But
I
yeah,
mean, that's not a bad idea.
I
Now
don't
they got
know.
Zoom, so good.
Yeah,
Still be in
yeah,
the
even
house.
stuff like that. This StreamYard. This
Mhm.
is the platform you always use, right? Now I'm looking at
Yeah.
this StreamYard and I'm thinking about like, dang, there's so much I can do to like better my background or better your background. And what was it that one app you put me onto, the ad maker app? That
Yeah.
app actually like that works just like Canva, almost the exact same thing.
Okay.
So the more you start, seeing all these applications and you start learning, you start finding like the similarities to them. And so you can jump on a brand new app that just came out, but since you have that background, you've studied all the rest of them, it'll become a little easier for you to learn. So that's like been a hack for me.
Right.
Like if I get put onto a new application or a new UI, I can just get up in there and but especially with the web design, like if you got platforms like Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, WordPress, Webflow. These are all great
Yeah.
applications, but if you take the time to just learn one of them, you'll see the similarities in all of them, kind of. Especially GoDaddy Arrow
Right.
too, and I think Olive Street or Olive Tree. There's so many that I know now. It's crazy. But yeah, that's a major flex, man. When you get the job, you can learn new applications. Yeah, so learn,
Yeah,
study, learn.
Yeah, yeah, and something in business, as a owner, I learned that absolutely, even though I could, I learn it, and then whoever actually got the degree in it or whatever, I can hire that
Mhm.
person. But if they're not there, I'm not stuck because I already know how to do that portion until I get another person in. And that's what a lot
Yeah,
of business owners forget to do, is to learn the situation, then learn all the jobs. That's the work you got to put in, like all the
uh,
jobs, so that way when they leave, because the people are going to leave,
mhm.
you can still function at least at a at a smaller late rate, but still function enough to where
Yeah, yeah,
until
yeah.
you're
You can at least
providing the
defend
help.
yourself.
Perfect.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
definitely at least
yeah, because
defend
that's
yourself.
something. Yep. And I mean, the help is nice, but nobody's going to stay there forever. Like, so you just
Yeah.
gotta expect that to happen, but
Hmm.
also treat the employees, your partners, as people, and remember that they have lives as well, and help them grow in whatever they're doing. They're helping you grow. So it's just a owner. That's where a lot of owners mess up too, is they expect them to, I mean, yes, you were hired to do a job, but also they people have lives too, stuff,
Yeah.
and keeping them happy. Like, you don't have to people please, but also their family. You know what I mean? Like, but there's also a separation in the
Hospitality,
business.
man. Just don't lose the
Yeah.
humanity. Lose the hospitality. Don't be so dismissive, or don't judge the book by the cover. Give everybody their flowers, or at least their like a minute of your time, or let them have their minute to speak. That stuff that builds great relationships.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Susan. She said, "Amen." Every boss has to have that mindset. Yep. Um.
That's true, man.
Yeah. It's just
Especially as an owner or a boss or whatever you do, you also got to learn to fire yourself sometimes. You can't be the superhero of the day. Sometimes you got to be able to trust your employees or trust somebody else to handle a problem or situation for you, so you can get other jobs done. I feel like a lot of owners and business
yeah.
people, like they just, oh, I got to be in everything. I have to know everything. And if that's what you're going to do,
Yeah.
then you're just going to tie yourself up. Learn
Yep.
to step back. You got to learn to step back and say, you know what? I'm good at photography, but I'm going to let Christina do the photography for this project, because, she might have a better eye for it. And I can go ahead and just do some emailing or whatever the hell I need to do later. uh, I feel like a lot of
Exactly.
bosses need to learn that.
Yeah.
But
And stop
who knows,
micromanaging.
man? Let's see what happens in 2025.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, and this is why we're all here together, is to help each other out, finding those gifts as well to help each other. Like if you needed help invoicing, like just call me up. Like I got you. I have time. You know what I mean, or whatever. It is what it is. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh no. Now if I don't have the time, obviously that I can say no. But just whatever it is, we're here to help each other.
That's right.
Learn or grow into our companies, and we're not stepping on each other's toes or going into their like I'm not going to go into your world and take over your world. You know what I mean? Like we can help.
That's where the gatekeepers come in. That's where that's where that gatekeeper mentality comes in. Like they feel like someone's gonna take my job, someone's gonna take me out of here. Well, if you're not doing your job right, you weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Then that probably is not gonna happen. Too, and if you're really good at your job and you're a professional, you really should never have anything to worry about. And that's like I said before, man.
Exactly.
Instead of gatekeeping, teach somebody, because that person you taught is now a new venue for you. It's now a new avenue for you to be like, hey, let's reconnect again. I remember I was teaching you this. Is there anything new you can teach me now? Can maybe you'd be willing to hook me up? And that happens in the industry. And I think more businesses are successful because of that. Instead of being this guy's going to take my job. This guy's going to take my. Well, you're probably not. If you have that mentality, you're probably not doing a good job. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Exactly.
Like I'm confident in the stuff that I'm doing. So
if you don't, me too. If you don't want me, you don't want me. If you want me, you want me. I'll do my best, and it is what it is at that point. And I'm not going to have any bad feelings towards you if you don't choose me. I'm still going to love and respect you as a human being. Like, all right, so maybe later down the road, we don't have to hate each other in anything.
I can't tell you how many jobs I've applied for and I've never got that I'm continuing to apply for. There's so many, like and I get it, I understand, that me coming into like an agency might mean, the end of somebody else's job or it might, unfortunately that just happens in life. I never want to be that person to do that. I don't, that's not my intentions to do. But, as a boss or someone who's running their own company, if I see that this person's not working out and I got to go hire someone else, then that person's probably going to replace you,
Absolutely.
And that's just the way the world works. And if you stay strong, you stay confident in your ability, then you really don't ever have to worry about a job. So stay strong mentally. Keep going. Keep doing what you love.
Right. Yeah. Just keep trying to help each other. Like even writing something I used to do, and I still could do it, but I don't have a physical job. Back in the day when I was working, I used to make notebooks that have pointers, or simplified stuff. So whatever I learned for whoever the next person is, there's a notebook of, okay, so this is like the key kind of thing, or like, all right, so try this, the tab, the open, whatever, like, or even if it's McDonald's or something, like, all right, so this is a different way of trying it. You don't have to do it, but this is a simple, I like to try to figure out how to do it faster. Efficient.
Yeah. More efficient.
And in the quality too. Like I can't sit there and just do it forever and just sit there forever. I'm like, look, let's just get it done now. Like, how can we do it quicker and easy? I'm photography. I'm clicky, man. I'll sit there in the car while I'm driving. I don't have to look through the lens, and then bam. All right, we're cool. I set it up early, you know what I mean, and whatever.
Yeah.
Highway.
I know exactly what you're talking about too. Yeah.
And whatever, there's a whole thing on that. If there's a mess in front of me, it's already set up when I went home. And
you probably have a nice shot too. You probably got some good work out of that.
Exactly. I'm the quickie because you don't know if you got to run. You don't know if you have to, you're going to get in a car accident or whatever. I'm still driving, and literally the camera is like this, and I'm still looking, but I see it ahead of time. I can, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that's a cool cloud, or the train's coming, or whatever. I might, and then it'll just, and I'm done. 2 seconds. That's it, right? I don't have to stand there. It is nice to have I hate the what do you call it? Oh God, the stand.
The tripod.
That's how much I don't use the tripod.
Okay. Yeah.
I get what the tripod's for, but you should have seen me out in the lake. I sat there, and it took me about 5 minutes to figure out the stupid tripod. It was simple, but yet it was just like, okay, but I was like, this is too much. You cannot have a tripod in the middle of the woods when a bear is about to come out, and all that. No time for that, right? So no time tripod. But I had to do it for a project for my school. So my headshots, or my shots that I took of myself, that was actually a school project, and I was like, I had never had to take a selfie like that ever. So all my shots that I took of.
You ever see the photographers, like the real hardcore photographers? They got a backpack with the camera hanging with like a little spring or something on that, and they're like in it. Like, I'm like, that immediately made me like not want to do photography when I see people like that. Like, I'm like, oh, what? Like, I'm not. I remember going to the zoo one time and seeing that, and I have my camera, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do something real nice, and I see this guy coming in with his like gear, and I'm like, I just wanted to throw my camera away. Like, what am I doing here? Like, who am I? What?
Listen, that throws me off too. I understand the whole aspect.
Yeah. But he's been in it longer. You know what I mean? That just means he's been in the game a little longer than somebody else, or he or she's been, has more just has a more desire than we do for it. You know what I mean? That's all that means. But
hold on. That's something I thought that was, but then I learned, like I said, I try to do something quickie. Like, if I didn't have to carry
all that's not for me. That's not for me.
Like, but I still get the same. I get better quality out of whatever they just did. You know what I mean? Like, there was an incident where I was on the Seward Highway, and I was like, I can't go to sleep. There's just something, like, in the spirit. I just was like, there's something I need to go take a photo of. And so where I was at, it was about 25 minutes away. So it's like Lebanon to maybe Palmyra, that kind of a distance of a thing. And so it was about 8:00 at night, and I'm in my Crocs and my pajamas driving. I said, I left the house. I was like, I can't go to sleep. I cannot go to sleep until I've been on this highway so many times, just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I'm like, everybody's like, oh yeah, I've seen a bear here and a whale here and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, where? I'm there all the time and nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. It makes me so mad. So this time I'm like, all right, God, which way do you want me to go? So I ended up going on the Seward Highway, which is my favorite highway. It's the most dangerous highway. And I see that people are parked on the side of the road. I was like, okay, so there's an animal somewhere, right? Because that's one of those indicators, because you got the ocean on the side. So it's either a whale, which is pretty rare to see, or
Alaska's great for all of that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right there at your door, you can get it. So I'm like, all right, so I'm in my pajamas, in the Crocs, not ready for any bear running activity kind of thing, I mean, I'm just out there, and then there's this photographer, and there's a couple people right there. There's a black bear eating on the side of the road, right? Just parked, and I got out of the car. It's like, here we go. And I got my little Canon. I mean, you have to physically walk up to the animal to get that shot, Photographer
You're brave.
with lens, which is like way out water to get you have to be out. Yeah. So I want the story of my shots, but and the photographer looked at me so weird. I was like, listen, I'm like on the so what do you call it? Live. Hey y'all, like blah blah blah. And the photographer's looking at me like, what the? And so I get closer to the bear, right? While he's like back in the day, you know, kind of thing. So I'm like, and I got my shot. The bear didn't care. You just got to know your animals, you know. And then I found the cave I needed to find. It was up, and there was babies hanging up on the tree, you know. So I said, there's another hike I'm going to be doing. You know what I mean? So you never know. And it was on the side of the road. So in my pajamas, in my Crocs, was not even ready for a running of a bear, you know, running from a bear. But she just was eating grass like it was no tomorrow. She was just a kid, babies and whatever. And so those kind of things. But so not necessarily like, and then I had the doll sheep. I climbed up the mountain to see the doll sheep, and I had the photography. I was like, so how was your photography? You know, I hope you got some great shots, because she was down on the bottom. I was like, go up and get your shot. You know what I mean? Like, walk up to the animal. You're okay. Yeah. Like they're not going to kick you, but get your shot. Forget this bigger. I mean, they're great, but it's just the equipment. I learned that the equipment, you really don't have to have all that extra. You got to be safe, and you got to be light when it comes down to being
I think that qualifies you. That makes you officially a pro photographer. You know, with that, because not many people want to even do that. So that's like you said, like that's your thing. That was your thing, you know, getting the quick shots, going up there and getting that. And for the person with the string hanging off their shoulder or whatever, that's their thing. So, you know, it's because there's a difference. There's a difference. And you can't be discouraged about doing what you want to do. You just gotta take the risk.
So it's exactly.
That's awesome. Like that's awesome photo right there.
The dog looked at me like, you're not one of us. I mean, it was right in there. I said, I know, but you know, and I can eat a sandwich right next to them. You know what I mean? Or that's what I do. I go out, just have fun and do what I got to do. But yeah, I learned, because I thought I had to have all that equipment too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing all that.
Maybe in the future, maybe. You know, you're making a little change. But it don't have to be.
But I got it. I don't use it because of those reasons. I prefer. You know what I mean? I have it. I bought it, and that was one of those things. And now I'm learning the art of the little stuff, like the GoPros. That you know, making your video.
The little hand.
The stick it in the snow and let the dogs come by and run from that. And I was like, all right, that's cool. You know what, I can do that, and you know, do it in a little video kind of thing. And you can. I'm not sure about the drones right now. I have a drone, but now with all these drone thingies going on, I'm not trying to.
I'm always like scared. The thing I'm scared about the drone is that just losing it. Like there's so many like stories of people just losing their $1,000 drones. Like I don't want to. That be me. Like I go do I'm gonna do the shot, and there it goes in the lake, and never getting that back.
That would be my ocean shot right there, like the whale cave. Oh, perfect shot. And it's
whales eating the drone. like that's my thing. Like that might be something I might hire somebody to do. Like oh, let me get the drone guy out here, because save me my liability.
Exactly. I got 2 eagles that sit up on the tree in the winter. And I think that's what I'm going to use my drone for, is to be able to get those shots, is the eagle's face, because they know me. They do the photography with me all the time, and but to get that higher shot, but yeah, that's I'm the quickie clicky. I ain't got that time to be doing all that and the extra weight to be sitting there trying to climb a mountain, and then you have all that equipment. What you're going to do is slow yourself down so the bear can eat you, or you know, chase after you, and then it'll, you know what I mean. That, like, you don't need all that. Just, or take the GoPro on your hat. You know what I mean? Walk with it. You got your photos right there. What you got to do there? Like it's like you said, there's so many things out there that could be utilized. It's just learning how to utilize them properly.
Exactly.
And
learning every day. We've been on here for an hour and 24 minutes, probably more. I gotta wrap things up, because I gotta get my kids. I gotta get my son soon. But man, it's been a pleasure. It doesn't feel like I was talking to you for so long either. It's so crazy. But I appreciate this. Thank you very much. Oil Runners broadcast. Like and subscribe. Illigraphics.com. Shout
Yeah.
out to Martha Novak, MD, and Weight Wellness Online. Weight Management and Wellness Online. Who else am I going to shout out here? I'm going to shout out my wife and kids. I hope they're probably going to see this later.
Okay.
So. But thank you so much,
What's
man.
your legacy?
My legacy is just being able to give maybe to leave behind some work that other people can look at and learn from and grow from. That's pretty much it. I'm not too big on the legacies, but yeah, I'm just like, if I can just help pay it forward or help somebody, get through whatever they need to get through for the day, just take care of my wife and kids and live a peaceful, happy life. That's all I really want. And that's all I really care about. But yeah, man, it's just for me to leave behind, I guess, my books or, my digital materials, whatever. But I don't need much. I don't need a lot. I'm cool with who I am and what I'm doing. But and I'm really cool with what you're doing and your audience. So hi to everybody out there. Thanks for having me. Peace and love, man. Peace and love.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on again. And yeah, this was round 2. And definitely go Oil Runners. This is the end of the broadcast for today for the live. So go on to illigraphics.com and check out his work.
Yeah. Buy my books too on KDP, Panspermia and the Magic Eraser on Amazon right now. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate everything. Yep.
Like, subscribe, all that, share, and be good, y'all. We love
you.
Yeah,
they probably 2025 is ours. Put that Trump fist up. All right, y'all. Peace.